Touch of Gaming, episode 104. This episode of the Touch of Gaming podcast is brought to you by GoToMeeting with HD Faces. All right, everybody, and welcome to the Touch of Gaming podcast. As always, I'm your host, Lloyd Hennison, and joining me, a face we haven't seen in a long time or heard from. I guess a voice we haven't heard from in a long time. Anthony Catanzaro. Anthony, how's it going, my friend?
Hey Lloyd, how you doing?
I'm doing really good, but wow, we haven't talked to you in forever.
I did a little the guest spot on 100.
That's true. You're correct, sir.
I like being the special guest star.
I guess absence makes the heart grow fonder, is what they say.
Yeah, but I really just been too busy to play games, sadly.
Oh, that's real life talking. I don't like that. I'm trying to hide from real life is what I'm trying to do.
But we both have iPad 3s now.
Yeah. You got yours on release day, though.
I did.
Yeah, I unfortunately did not. But then I saw one and I held one in my hand and said, I cannot look at another iPad 2 screen. So I had to get one.
Yeah, I was all set. I did like an Amazon. Amazon was buying back iPads and you get credit at Amazon, and they were offering good money. Right. Like better than what they were going for in eBay. And certainly, because like right before the launch, eBay was flooded with iPad 2s. Mm-hmm. So I was like, wow, I'm not going to net anything after all the PayPal and eBay fees. And I saw Amazon's, and I was just like, because I wasn't going to do it. I was just going to maybe skip this generation. My iPad 2 was fine. It was a 64 gigabyte. Right. And, you don't want to sell something with tax that costs you like $750 for 300. Mm-hmm. And but I think I got $385 or something from Amazon. I can't remember. Wow. Seemed good, so I did that whole thing, boxed it up, shipped it out like the day before. So now there was no return. I already shipped it. Mm. And I woke up I guess it was a Saturday, and line wasn't bad. Apple cranked through the 40 people that were ahead of me, and I got home, turned it on, and my screen was so yellow I almost cried. And
that sucks. That sucks so bad.
Yeah, it was just it looked like you were wearing like those amber sunglasses. The whites were yellow, so I'm like, I was so disappointed. It kind of blew the whole high def, retina display thing for me. So I left it on all night thinking like the glue thing would dry up, mm-hmm. and I'd wake up in the morning. So I had it on full brightness, plugged into the wall, and just left it on all night, and thought it would like burn out. Right. But it didn't. I woke up the next day. It was the same. My wife's like, it's a Sunday now. She's like, you're not happy. Go back. I go back, and the geniuses gave me a hard time. They didn't want to exchange it.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, show me one iPad on the display floor, because I checked when I first walked in the store. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning, mm-hmm. and none of them look like mine. And he's like, oh, yours actually has a warmer, looks nicer, I think.
Give me a break.
And I got so frustrated. I mean, I could have demanded, them to exchange it. He's like, look, they're all going to be the same. And I'm like, how can you say that, Mm-hmm. So anyway, I'm like, just give me my money back. And I returned it, walked out, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't have an iPad. Oh no. And later that day, I went over to Best Buy and picked one up, and it was perfect. But and
they had stock. You just walked in and there was no problems.
A couple. I wound up with another 64 gig black. You couldn't get a 16 no, there was 16s. There were no 32s, which I probably would have downsized to a 32 just to save a little money. Right. But I don't know. It's nice having all that space. I was used to it. Mm-hmm. And this one's perfect. It's, not yellow at all. So I did read some people had the same issue, and, I guess it just happens.
Yeah, but, it's the glue that binds the digitizer to the glass. It takes a while for that glue to basically work itself out. So basically what worked for some people was they basically did the same thing as you. They left it on all night on 100% brightness, but they basically had like Infinity Blade running in the background. So it was basically
so it got hot. I didn't think it
was heating it up. Yeah, exactly. Heating up the insides of the iPad a lot and drying out all of the glue. And yeah, their screen basically after a day or so turned from the looking of urine screen that they had to something that was a little bit more normal. So they're happy after that.
I wonder if that would have worked for me. I guess so.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things, but hey, you're happy now, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but you really don't notice the Retina display until you like go back to an iPad 2,
right?
And until you start updating the apps, and it was almost like the first time you got HD TV. You got a flat screen, high def TV, and you're watching regular broadcast.
Yeah.
Like, this sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was like, it wasn't, it was like a week into it when I'm like, oh wow, yeah, these things are really starting to look better on this thing.
For me, the thing that drives me insane is all of the magazine apps that haven't updated to the Retina display, and so you're looking at blurry text. It's like, it's freaking text. Like, I could look at a web browser and it looks better than this. So
yeah,
hopefully they figure out better ways to do this, or just update their stuff. Because yeah, I have a couple magazine subscriptions on my iPad, which is really strange for me to say because I haven't subscribed to a magazine in like 10 years. But now that it's $10 on the iPad, I'm all of a sudden like ponying up. And yeah, they're blurry, and I don't like that. So hopefully they fix that.
Yeah, but all in all, the screen's definitely an improvement. I don't really notice a performance increase in anything I was using before.
Yep.
The camera is definitely better, which I rarely use. So I don't know. But now I have a new iPad and it's under warranty. So
sweet. Awesome. Well, I guess before we get too much further into the show, other than welcome, Anthony. Nice to have you back.
Hey, thanks.
Just wanted to explain a little bit as to why there wasn't a show on last Friday, like I said there would be. When I recorded the last iOS Pulse, which was on Tuesday, I planned to record an episode with my wife on Thursday. We got busy with actual like real life stuff, so we couldn't record it. So we were gonna say, okay, fine, we'll do a recording on Friday. We'll get it out Friday night. It'll be perfect. Then I caught this weird throat bug where I basically lost my voice for a day, so I couldn't really talk much at all on Friday. So I couldn't record a show, and wanted to do it on Saturday, couldn't record a show. Wanted to do it on Sunday, couldn't record a show. So I'm finally here Tuesday night with Anthony, and I feel almost 100% again. So that explains a little bit as to where we've been, and hopefully I won't have to take a unplanned hiatus like that. I think what I'm going to do in the interim is prepare some smaller shows that I can just keep in my pocket. So if that ever happens again, I can still just release something for you guys. So apologies. I did put up a video. If you head on over to vgpodcast.com, since I didn't have to talk, I put up a playthrough of one of the levels of Ballistic Special Edition, which is a really great game, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. So I still put up some content. It just unfortunately wasn't a Touch of Gaming episode, which everybody was expecting. Excuse me. So there you go. Before we get too far, I want to mention that we're a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Find other shows like this one over at techpodcast.com. And quick announcements before we get into what we've been playing. Excuse me. We have forums. So, Anthony, go to vgpodcast.com/forums and sign up for an account. And what we're going to be doing is over the month of May, I'm going to be giving away some iTunes gift cards. So everybody that's listening to this, go sign up for a forum account, create topics, talk with people, reply, be active. And I'm going to look for people that are active and contributing to the community, excuse me, that we're trying to build over there. And at the end of May, I'm going to be giving away some $10 iTunes gift cards. So if you want to get in on that action, just head on over to vgpodcast.com/forums and join up with the VG Podcast forums. The cool thing is when I post an episode of the ToG, and you go to look at it on the website, it automatically creates a forum entry for that post. And if you comment on the actual blog entry, it will actually put that comment into the forums as well. So you can be active just by putting a comment on the show notes saying I played this game and it's awesome, and then go to the forum and communicate with other people. So I'm hoping that we can get a whole bunch of people out talking about iOS, talking about PS3, 360, Nintendo, you name it. This is going to be kind of a all in all game forum. So check it out, vgpodcast.com/forums.
Is there small print that says I'm not eligible to be in that contest?
No, you're eligible. Go for it.
Really?
Yeah. If you're active enough, Anthony, I will give you a $10 gift card.
Thanks.
All right, so let's get into the rest of the show. Anthony, what have you been playing? I know it's been a while since we last talked, so it's probably a huge list.
Yeah, no, it's not too huge. I played a bit of Smash Cops. I don't know did you review that? I wasn't even sure because I'm a little behind on your podcast.
Reviewed it when it first came out. It was very short. I know they've added a lot of stuff to it though, so feel free to talk at length about it if you want.
Yeah, no, I'm not ready to review it, and since you already did, I won't. But it's a little bit like Reckless Getaway. It reminded me
Right.
of, but the controls aren't as good, and it's not as fun. I don't know something about. I mean, I was using the touch controls where you're kind of like pushing your car from behind.
Yeah, that doesn't work at all.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
And the other controls didn't work for me either. There's another game. Is it Reckless Racing? Which has similar controls with like a like a little thumb wheel, and I just don't get that control.
Yeah, I don't like the thumb wheel either. It just doesn't work for me. I think for that one I did the Type B or whatever it was. So you're actually behind the car. So as you turn, you hit the little buttons on the screen and it turns you. That's how I played Smash Cops at the end of the day. There was two little left and right arrows on the left side of the screen, and I was using those ones, and it worked okay, I guess. Not super, but okay. At least I think that's how I controlled it. I can't even remember.
It's amazing how controls can really make or break a game. That, like I said, the Reckless Getaway is really fun, and you don't even think about the controls. Now with this game, it's like, I got to play around trying to find which controls work. But the visuals are great, and they mix up the gameplay. So I was playing that a bit, but then I got an email. It's funny because I think on the 100th show, I mentioned the Infinity Project as one of my favorites. Right. And I think I also mentioned that I think they were working on a sequel, and I got an email from Jean-Luc from Crazy Robot Games, who is working on a sequel.
Nice.
And yeah, I found out they've been working on it for 2 years, and they're hoping to release it soon. And he asked me if I wanted to beta test it. So I thought I'd talk about that a little instead of doing a review, because it's kind of interesting, like the way I'm getting updates and the process, and my comments that have turned into changes in the game. So I'll talk about that a little bit.
Sweet.
And that's about it. Otherwise, I've actually been using my iPad for work.
What? You can work with an iPad?
Yeah.
That's something you can do?
Yeah.
I was saying I'm kidding. I use mine for work all the time. I have Bento, the database apps, all of my contacts and all my IP address database for all the machines I support and all the systems and servers and things. I do remote access on PCs and Macs, so it's fully usable as a work replacement for like a netbook or whatever you'd be carrying around with you. It actually works really well.
And that's another big advantage of the high resolution screen is remoting into like a Windows machine, because you can see much more of the screen, without panning around and stuff.
Right. Exactly.
And then later I'm going to talk about a Kickstarter project that I could use it for work even more.
Cool. All right. Well, let's get into a little bit what I've been playing. On the last ToG, I believe it was the last ToG, I talked a little bit about Marvel vs. Capcom that was coming out. So it came out a day early. So last week on Wednesday, I believe. I think that's when it was. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. And basically what Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is, it's a 2D platformer that basically has Marvel characters versus Capcom characters. So you could have like Ryu from Street Fighter versus like Spider-Man or the Hulk or Thor or Iron Man. It has something like 40 some odd characters. So it's actually a very well done game. So I picked it up and played it, and it's essentially a full port of the I guess probably the Dreamcast version, I would say. I'm not sure exactly what it's a port from, but it uses all of the original like sounds and graphics and animated backgrounds and things like that. So I'm gonna hold it up a little bit and see if you guys can see it once it actually starts going. And yeah, what I found with this game is apparently I'm not very good at 2D fighters anymore. I'm really not good at 2D fighters anymore. So I'll hold it up here right on my shoulder. So it'll be Marvel vs. Capcom right beside my ear. It'll be great. But basically, what they've done is they've added a weird control mode. I say weird. it's not really too weird, I guess. But how they've gotten around, because the arcade has 6 buttons, so it has light punch, hard punch, light kick, hard kick, and then your two, because you're a 3-person team, so there's a button that can do things with those 2 other tag partners that you have. And what they've done is they've basically put 4 buttons on the screen. So you have your punches, you have your kicks, and then you have a special meter, and you have a partner meter on the screen. And how you do your special attack moves. So if you're playing like Ryu, you want to do a fireball, or you want to do an uppercut, or you want to do your kick move or whatever. You would normally do like quarter circles and all that fun stuff to do it. In this one, you basically touch the special move button and then you slide it forward to do the forward attack, slide it back to do the back attack, slide it up, slide it down. So it's different. It's weird. I don't know if I quite like it yet. So much to the fact where I can't really beat the game. And it's probably because I get frustrated very easily with these games lately, I guess. But here, I'll hold this up so you guys can see it if you're watching the video. And yeah, basically it's tough. It is a very tough game. So I'm gonna take some more time and get into it. But it basically just like destroys me. The one thing that's really weird with the button combinations is, since there's only 1 punch and 1 kick, and then the special moves, it becomes really hard to do combos. So I have like muscle memory for a lot of things with Street Fighter. So I can just like do combos like punch as you're jumping towards a guy, punch down, middle kick, and then uppercut or whatever. Like it's just muscle memory because I've done it so often. Well, you without physical buttons and without having more than 1 button, I really can't do that. So I find that I'm sitting there and just spamming fireball or doing like the Hulk moves over and over again, or Colossus, Cyclops, doing all the moves, just spamming them over and over and over and over and over, because I can't really do the combos. So that's the only effective way to play. So I'm gonna have to mess around with the controls a little bit more. If you're watching the video, you can see that like it's crystal clear. Like it just looks so fun. Animated backgrounds, everything is great.
It really get great reviews though, did it?
No, because people are saying that the controls are kind of wonky. Mm-hmm. So I got to spend a little bit more time playing it. The one weird thing about it is there's no multiplayer. I guess it's not weird. They've done a lot in this game, so no multiplayer isn't the end of the world. But it would be nice if there was a little bit of multiplayer thrown into it. Although, not that I could really compete multiplayer, because apparently I can't beat the CPU on easy. So I don't know what that says about my skills in 2D fighters now. So yeah, that's Marvel vs. Capcom. Really cool. I also picked up a game called Ascension. It was on sale for 99 cents, and Ascension is a board game. It's a deck building game, and to buy the actual Ascension game set in stores is like $40. Like, it's not a cheap game, and I think the regular price on the App Store is only like $5, and they had a 99-cent sale. So I finally picked it up because I wanted to play the physical version of this for the longest time, because I'm getting into board games a little bit. And it is fun. So basically what it is it's you against another person, and you're dealt a number of cards, and the cards can be attack cards, or they can be things that will give you powers, or they can be enemies to summon, or effects that will affect your gameplay. So basically what happens is you attack cards to just defeat them, you attack them to buy them, you spend points on them to buy them, and as you're doing that, you're basically taking those cards and putting them into your deck. So as you run out of cards, they get shuffled, and then you get access to new enemies. So that's where the strategy comes in. You want to get like a certain type of enemy. So say there's the mechanical creatures. There's cards that affect all the mechanical creatures. So if you get a couple of them right away, you're going to want to focus for the rest of the game on those mechanical creatures, and vice versa. There's some other things as well. So definitely a lot of fun. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to if people haven't really played a deck building game at all. So it's not like Magic the Gathering or anything where you build a deck first and then play. The whole point of the game is to build your deck, and as you build your deck, you're whittling down this pool of points that everybody can get. So as you do different things, you get points, and the person that has the highest number of points when there's no more points in the pool essentially wins. But basically the whole point of the game is to build your deck. So a lot of fun. I'd definitely recommend you check it out. They have one of the expansion packs is available for in-app purchase. I think it's $3. So it's just stupid how cheap these things are compared to buying the physical copies. I still would like to have a physical copy of Ascension, I think, because it's something that I think I would enjoy playing with friends. Yeah, check that one out, Ascension. I've also been playing some Spellsword, but I'm reviewing that one later in the show, so don't worry, we'll talk about that then. I've been playing a lot of Ballistic SE. It's done by the guys that did, I believe, Super Crossfire is what it's called. So it's basically a top-down dual stick shooter similar to Geometry Wars, but basically you are a ball and you're shooting other balls, and you basically complete waves of these things flying at you. And as you do that, you get score multipliers, you get access to bombs that you can run over and they explode, or you get extra men and things like that. And then every certain number of ways that you complete, you get a skill point that you can use to upgrade your craft. So maybe you want to be faster, maybe you want your special meter to fill faster, or maybe you want to drop bombs as you're moving. And it just gets crazy. Like I recorded a video and posted it. You guys can go to VGpodcast.com and check that out. But it gets so crazy. Like there'll be literally 150 things on the screen all coming at you. Some of them are flying fast, some are slow, some are bouncing, they're all different colors. There's different effects that are happening in the field. It just gets crazy fast, and I love it. So definitely check that one out. I want to play it a little bit more before I do a review. You can expect an iOS Pulse review of that one in the near future. And just picked this one up yesterday because I saw some screenshots and I had to have it, if only to look at the game and show it off to people. And it's a constant runner, and it's called Escape from the Age of Monsters. Really odd title. And basically what it is it's constant runner. So you're running left to right, and you're jumping essentially, but you don't actually jump in this game. It jumps for you. But the reason why I mentioned this one, and I'll link to a YouTube video at vgpodcast.com, so you should go check that one out. But it is the most beautiful game animation on a game like this that I've seen. It's all hand-drawn sprites. It looks like a really well done cartoon. So your running is really awesome. You have people with you. The enemies, the monsters you're escaping from, are there, and it just looks beautiful. The gameplay consists of you hitting the left side of the screen and the right side of the screen to do a blue attack or a red attack. So it's not super crazy or anything, but if anything, it's the animation that makes this game a hit in my eyes. So if you're looking for a game that looks kind of cool, you definitely want to check that one out. All right, man, let's take a small break before we get into the rest of the show. I want to tell you guys about our friends over at Citrix and GoToMeeting. So if you have colleagues working from home or traveling for business, getting everyone together these days can be an impossible task. It's just everybody's all over the world these days. But I have the solution for you, and that is GoToMeeting with HD Faces. So you can meet directly face-to-face with people without actually being in the same room, because you can meet wherever they are. And it takes only seconds to set up and connect. It is really easy. GoToMeeting by Citrix allows you to collaborate on files and plans, on websites, on graphics, on proposals. It's amazing. Basically, you're showing a computer screen to someone else. So anything you're doing on your computer, they can see. And with HD Faces, you just need a webcam to turn your online meetings into a group HD video teleconference. And you can even participate on the go, because they have a mobile app for your iPad. You just download it from the App Store, and you just basically turn on the camera, and next thing you know, you're participating in a group HD video chat with other people. Really cool, works really well, and it's a whole different thing when you're in a meeting with people and you can see their face. You can read little things that they're trying to tell you through their body language. So they're crossing their arms, or they're yawning. It basically just can tell you how you either alter your pitch or change the way, or you can see the one intern is obviously sleeping at the meeting, so you can wake them up there as well when you're all together in HD Faces. It's pretty cool. I love GoToMeeting. I use it all the time. Unfortunately, I don't use it for every meeting. I'm still trying to get some of our vendors to switch over. I've gotten one, so hopefully I can get a couple others, because it is the best of this product on the market. Online online conferencing solutions. It's definitely the best one out there, and it's one of the most affordable. So you can start hosting your own face-to-face online meetings today with GoToMeeting. My listeners can try it free for 30 days, and you can do that just by going to gotomeeting.com, click on the Try It Free button, and use the promo code podcast. That's gotomeeting.com. Click on Try It Free and use the promo code podcast. And thanks to GoToMeeting and Citrix for their support of the show.
Good job, Lloyd.
All right, man. Before we get into the news, how about we do a listener email?
Sure.
All right. Well, we got an email this week from Mike Starnes. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. Sorry, Mike, if I butchered that a little bit. And Mike says, hi, I was listening to episode 103 of the ToG podcast at work last night, where you reviewed the iOS game Devil Dark. And you mentioned that you wish these developers would just charge $2, $3, or $4 for the game, rather than slapping in all these in-app purchases. And I must say, I've been saying the same thing for a long time. And I've gotten to the point that if a game says it has IAP, in-app purchases, I usually just avoid it, as most of the time, unless you are willing to spend the extra cash on in-app content, you can't fully enjoy everything the game has to offer. And that's a real shame. Perhaps we need to start a campaign to boycott in-app purchases. Of course, Gameloft is one of the worst, but there are others that are getting to be, there is getting to be so many. Sorry, I can't read. I should have edited this before I put it in the show notes. Sorry, my bad. But there's getting to be so many other developers that are following this model that it's becoming harder to avoid these games. So take care, and I love the show, Mike Starnes. So thanks, Mike, for sending that in. If you guys want to have your email read out on the air, definitely email us at vgpodcast@gmail.com. Put in the show that you are obviously listening to, if it's a gaming sort of question, so we can put it into the right podcast. But Mike, yeah, I'm the same way with you. I'm starting to really hate in-app purchases a lot. Not because I don't mind spending the money, but I'd rather give a developer $5 than feel like I'm being nickeled and dimed as I'm doing that with the game. So, how about you, Anthony? Are you a big fan of in-app purchases at all?
I've never even done an in-app purchase, and
so, yeah,
I'd be okay if it was like, new missions of a game and you're getting more content for another $1 or something.
Right.
But I don't like the, you feel like you can't progress in the game unless you spend more money.
Right.
And that gets really frustrating. I forgot what game I was playing recently, and I kind of hit that plateau. Oh. And it really was frustrating.
It drives you insane. He quoted Devil Dark, which is a game that I reviewed in the last episode. And that's essentially how it is. Like there's weapons and armor that you can buy, but they're, say, at level 5 and then level 15 and then level 25 and level 35. So there's that huge gap between your levels where you need more firepower or you need to take less damage. And the only way you can do that is to buy weapons that are in-app purchased. And when you buy the in-app purchase weapons, they're doubly as powerful as anything that you could get in the game. They have effects that you cannot find on any weapons that are in the game, so it makes it pretty much useless to even buy weapons with the in-game currency, because you're going to be worse off than if you spent a few dollars and got these gems and bought that stuff. Actually, in this case, it's not a few dollars, because in Devil Dark, I think to get the weapons and armor that I wanted at my level when I did my review, I would have to spend about $25 in real money to get the stuff. And I'm like, really? How is that something that you like? Wouldn't you want it cheaper to encourage people to spend the money? But I don't know. I don't know if it's working for him. We'll have to see if that changes with that particular game. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of in-app purchases lately.
Yeah, it was Epoch, that game. I got to a level where I couldn't get past, and it seemed like if I didn't buy a better weapon, I was never going to beat the boss at the end, and I kind of just gave up on it.
Yeah.
Did you play that?
A little bit when it first came out. I didn't get too far into it, but it looked like it was a fun game. And that's one where it's like you're in cover, right? You're jumping from side to side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then there's a boss at like the end of, I don't know, some level that I just can't survive. Right. I can't kill him fast enough. I can't survive his hits. And it's like, it looks like I need to buy stuff to get past it. And I was like, forget it.
Oh, frustrating. Frustrating. All right, well, let's get into the show. A notable release for this week, I just want to mention that Jetpack Joyride received an update, and it added in gadgets. So I think there's like 20 gadgets, something around that. And basically what this does is it changes your gameplay. So you can basically get a gadget that, say, wraps you in a bubble when you die. So you bounce. It's like you're a bouncy ball. So you'll bounce another 500 meters. There's a coin magnet. There's one that makes a flying piggy bank fly around, dropping coins. And if you hit it, it explodes into a shower of coins. Really, really cool. And they've even updated all the missions in the game to have some missions that need you to use specific gadgets. So definitely check that one out. It's a free update to Jetpack Joyride, so you're getting like a stupid amount of gameplay for your 99 cents, or free if you picked it up after it went free. So check that out, update your game, and play away. Kara's still playing it. She's the one that she's unlocked like 20 medals or something, which is just insane, and she's playing again. So yeah, this made her go back to it. So you did good work, half brick. All right, moving on. So this week there was a teaser posted. There was actually some weird tweets that were posted on Gameloft's Twitter account about coming in hot to San Francisco. You're breaking up, a whole bunch of stuff about like a spacecraft coming in and going to crash land in San Francisco. And the next thing you know, there's a trailer posted for Nova 3, so Near Earth Orbital Vanguard Alliance 3. So they're Halo ripoff. And when you're watching the video, it looks like really high res, but you can't really see too much of the game because it's like it's a close up on of the Nova dude whose name I can't even remember because I don't think it matters. And then they show some of the gameplay, and oh my god, this game looks unbelievable. So this game will be coming out sometime probably in May, is the current rumor. We'll see if that actually comes to pass. But it looks like Crysis 2 on your iOS platform. There's some gameplay footage in addition to this trailer that was posted this week, and yeah, it looks unbelievable. So I don't know, are you going to be picking this one up, Anthony? Are you still a Nova fan? Yeah,
definitely. And you're right, it looks less Halo-ish and more Crysis, and supposedly there's more Crysis abilities that your guys got.
Yeah.
So I guess they're taking a little deviation from the Halo format.
Right.
But it's rumored to be done in
the Unreal Engine.
What engine?
The Unreal Engine.
Unreal Engine. It was on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. You know, it should be much better than what they were trying to do. I played Nova 2 and I really liked it. It was fun.
Right.
It was an exciting game that, you know, every level you got to was something interesting.
Right.
But it definitely suffered from frame rate problems and little glitchy things when a lot of stuff was going on.
Right.
So so hopefully they have the same fun gameplay, you know, and have an engine that can display it and run it better. But I definitely think this is gonna be a $5 to $10 game for them. I think this is a big release.
Yeah.
And hopefully, yeah, it'll be out. They're saying May, so
I can't wait.
Could be any day we hear about it.
Usually that's what Gameloft does. They release a teaser and then they drop the game like a couple weeks later. So I'm hoping that the middle of the month will be kind of when the game comes out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It just looks unbelievable. Like they had some in the other video that I talked about. They have some firefight stuff, and you basically have, it looks like you're playing like modern. Like COD Modern Warfare 2, like that quality of like graphics of the weapon, and as you're tracking someone and doing headshots and blowing people up, it's just like, this does not look like an iOS game. It obviously is an iOS game, but I'm really curious to see what it looks like on my iPad 3. I will be picking it up the second it's available, and
me too.
And I will be staying up late to play it, I'm sure.
And it's it seems like the only good, you know, Unreal game since Dead Space,
right?
That's come out. I can't think of another shooter.
No. I mean, there's the modern combat ones, and they're decent, but this one looks like it's more of a shooter than even that one would be. So I'm really looking forward to it. Cool. Moving on. I guess this is more of an update than news, but Minecraft Pocket was updated this week, and it basically gives you the ability to finally craft items. So one of the main things to do in Minecraft is to mine and then craft, but the Minecraft mobile was only mine mobile, I guess, because you couldn't actually craft in the game. I guess you could place blocks, but you couldn't make things. So crafting has been added to the game. They've added a bunch of different mobs like cows and chickens and other things. There's a new inventory system, and what they've done is they've actually simplified crafting in this game, so you don't have to basically place something and then put stuff into it. They've made it so you basically just click on something and it gives you more options for what you can do. They've simplified it, made it easier to do on the mobile platform. So I haven't picked up Minecraft on my iOS platform. I'm probably going to do that. I'm not. What I was really waiting for was the ability to join some of the custom servers out there, and I don't think it's quite there yet. But they must be getting close if they're adding crafting and all that other stuff into it. They've already added survival mode. I guess the next thing is to add like the RPG mode into survival that they have in the I guess the desktop version. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing where they go with this. I play Minecraft every once in a while, but I don't really use my Mac for anything other than podcasting now. So for me to come down here and sit and play a game seems kind of like work, because I'm usually sitting in front of here for hours doing shows and editing video and stuff like that. So having it where I could just like sit on the couch or lay in bed and play some Minecraft would be something that would appeal to me. You look like a big Minecraft fan, Anthony.
I might like it. I played a game on the iPad called Eden, which was like a world building thing. I think I reviewed it actually on one of the last shows I did, and that was really fun. So I might like this. I haven't picked it up, but did you see the video of the guy who recreated the like Game of Thrones world in Minecraft?
How stupid is that? I mean, stupid awesome, not stupid like this guy's a moron or anything like that, but it's what
it's insane.
Well, it's insane. Like, how much work did you have to put into that? It just blows me away.
And he must not work.
I guess not. All right, moving on. Do you remember the game Eliminate, Anthony? That first-person shooter where you'd get tickets to basically you'd only get to compete in a certain number of matches per day, and it would count down. Then you'd get more tickets and things like that. You remember that?
Back when NG Moko actually was making a lot of games.
Yeah, when they actually kind of mattered compared to what they are now. Before they were bought and kind of just didn't really do much of anything. Well, Eliminate basically came out in 2009, so it's been around for a few years. They've just announced this week that they basically pulled the game off the App Store, so you can't download it if you didn't have it on your device. And there's a pop-up when you join the game now that says on 5/25 the game world will be shut down, so Eliminate will be unusable. Which isn't a huge surprise. It is a free-to-play game, but there was a lot of ways to spend money in the game. So I wonder how many people had spent like hundreds of dollars over the life of this to get the items that they wanted, and now all that is it's gone forever. So pour one out for Eliminate, one of the first big free-to-play games that really kind of basically set the tone for what has become like the way to release games on the App Store, free to play with in-app purchases. So congratulations, and I don't know, maybe NG Moko can start releasing games again. I think they're not doing so hot. I think a lot of the people that worked for them have moved on.
They bought Freeverse, right?
They bought Freeverse, and then like 6 months later they were bought by a Japanese company whose name I can't remember. So and I think just recently a lot of the actual developers there have left to found their own studio or something along those lines. So I don't know, maybe NG Moko's gone, but maybe some of the other the creative people can start making games somewhere else.
Yeah, I played it a bit. It was okay.
Yeah, it was decent for what it was. It was kind of weird. That was like back before Retina graphics, if you can think back that far. That's how old this game is. But it was updated a little bit, so you could still play it on current devices and things like that and stuff like that. So
there's another one that came out shortly after that was a complete copy of this. I don't remember the name off the top of my head. I'm sure you could go play that if you missed that. Exactly.
All right, moving on. iCade. I love my iCade. You can see it right there. It's being covered in Simpsons figures right now. That's where it's sitting until I pull it out and do some gaming with it. Well, Ion has announced the release date and price for their iCade Core and iCade Mobile. That's the basically the Core is just a little box that you basically put your iPad into, and it has the 8 buttons in the joystick. And the Mobile was that little kind of PSP looking thing that you'd slap your iPhone into, and then it had buttons on it as well. They've announced that at least in Great Britain, it'll be coming out in June, and it will be about $80 for each of them. So I don't know about the Core personally because I have iCades, but I might want to get an iCade Mobile. I think that would be kind of fun to play games with. My big thing is we need to get more developers supporting the iCade. I was blown away when Midway Arcade supported the iCade when they patched that in. I mean, I've played that game like hundreds of hours now because it has the iCade support. It's just amazing. Hopefully more developers take that and kind of run with it.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I didn't get an iCade, but I kind of like the one that's not the cabinet that you can just put your iPad on.
Yeah, it doesn't take up so much space, so.
I don't know about the iPhone one. I mean, if I have to take the case off my phone and put it in there, I'm never going to do that.
Yeah, that's my problem. I have an OtterBox on mine, so if you've ever put an OtterBox on, like the serious one that has like the hard shell and then the rubber gasket in the middle, it's a process to take it on and off. So I don't know if I would be too keen to do that too often, but I have an old Touch that I could maybe put in there permanently and use it that way.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Anthony, I know you're busy working at your own company right now, but I know secretly deep inside of you, you want to work for Domino's.
I don't even want to eat at Domino's.
Well, you want to work there, so you don't want to eat there. Well, if you want to work at Domino's, there's an app for that, apparently. Domino's has come out with a game called Pizza Hero. You can only download it in the States, so unfortunately I can't partake in the pizza making fun. And basically it's a free game that you can download on your iPad, and you're given basically orders to complete. So it'll ask you to make a pepperoni pizza. So you get a ball of dough and you have to squish it out, and you're graded on how even you squish it out around the circle and how fast you do it. Then you hit next and you put the sauce on. You have to be good with the sauce. And you put the cheese on, and you put the pepperoni, and then you finish. And apparently with this game is once you get good at the game, you don't get like a high score. It doesn't really make it harder. You actually get a job offer. It takes you to a thing that says, hey, you're the type of people we're looking for. And then it has a link to fill out an online form. So you can type in your name, and you can actually submit a job offer sheet from inside this app and get a job at Domino's Pizza. So yeah, you can work for that with an app for that. It just kind of blows me away that this exists. But
they have like a reckless getaway part where if you can drive through the traffic,
that would be awesome.
You can deliver pizza.
Try to kill the least number of people possible and get it there in 30 minutes or less.
And then they hire you.
So yeah, there you go. Pizza Hero. If you want to work at Domino's, there's an app for that. And it kind of makes me sad that I had to say that. All right, moving on quickly. Angry Birds Space has seen 50 million downloads in 35 days. That was announced this week. So people love Angry Birds Space. I got to say, it is the best Angry Birds. So if you like Angry Birds, this is definitely the one that you want to play. It is really well done. And yeah, 50 million downloads in 35 days across all their platforms. Obviously not all of them are paid downloads, but still, I'm sure they made a bucket of money and they're dancing in it right now. So go Rovio. You've made more money. Yay.
Yeah, I have it. My son played it. I haven't even launched it yet, but it's on there. God bless you.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And yeah, that's it for me. You wanted to talk about something though, Anthony.
Yeah, before I do, Lloyd, I'm looking through my hundreds and hundreds of Archetype. That was it, right?
Oh yeah, there you go. That's the one.
When I can't remember something, it drives me nuts. That's the one that's like Eliminate, so you can go play that.
Yeah, you can go download Archetype off the App Store, and you could play Eliminate when Eliminate is eliminated.
Yeah, unless that one's already gone for all we know.
Who knows?
But what I want to do, I want to talk about something I backed on Kickstarter called Bridge, BRYDGE, and so I can do more work with my iPad and less gaming because it turns your iPad into what looks like is a MacBook Air, but it's really nicely made. I mean, right now, I carry around one of the little Apple keyboards, and at work, I really do like to set up the keyboard and have like the iPad be like a secondary computer, because if my MacBook is busy, doing something, I can quickly check emails, and it's nice having like two computers in front of you.
Right.
And but I have the smart cover, and I prop it up, and I have to support it every time I touch the screen so I don't touch it and knock it over. And what this is, it's basically an iPad laptop. It's machined very much like you'd expect Apple to build this sort of accessory. So it's a stainless steel unibody looking keyboard with this really innovative hinge that uses magnets and friction to join to your iPad. So you take the iPad, it clicks in, snaps in like magnetically, and then it has 180 degrees of bendable laptop movement and a keyboard. It's Bluetooth, obviously. They say the charge lasts, could last a month. But they also have a model with built-in speakers. And, a lot of times I'm using my iPad, and I have this habit now of like cupping my hand over the speaker so that I can direct the sound towards me.
Right.
And so this could be kind of cool. Like if you're sitting there and you want the sound to come out of the top of the keyboard, and it's supposedly going to be at least 10 dB louder than the iPad speaker is.
Right.
And it looks really, really cool. So I backed it. They've raised close to $400,000 already. Their goal was 90, and it just looks like a really awesome accessory. And when you want it to be a tablet, you just pull it out of that thing. Slap your smart cover back on, and you could have a tablet like when you get home from work or whatever. So I'm really excited to get this thing.
It looks awesome. I got to say, it looks really, really, really well done.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot, 150, 180.
Yeah.
That's if you were early. If you're not an early person, I don't know what it is, like 170 without the speakers and 210 with the speakers.
Yeah. And for me, getting shipped to Canada is an extra $20, and then I have to pay duty coming across the border. So this would probably cost me $300 at the end of the day. Yeah, duty is a kick in the pants. I just had some microphone stuff. Basically, the microphone I'm using, the shock mount and the microphone bar, and I paid 20% of the full value of the product in duty when it came. When UPS showed up at my door, they're like, "Yeah, here, you need to give us a check for blah," and I'm like, "That's almost what I paid for the whole thing." So yeah, duty can be a big pain in the butt.
That's horrible.
So I really want one of these, but I don't know. That's like more than half of an iPad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it looks great.
Does.
It's all aircraft aluminum, and designed very much like the iPad. The iPad or the Macs are. There's special keys across the top row for the home button, and that could just be really cool. I'm really excited to get it. When I get it, I'll come on the show and make you jealous for it.
Cool. I'm looking forward to that.
You're getting the Pebble watch, so
that's true. That's true. And Leisure Suit Larry, and what's the other one I did? I did what's it called? Shadowrun Returns. I funded that one as well. So looking
forward. Those are all iOS games, or
no? Yes, and also PC and Mac. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to Shadowrun. I have some really great memories of Shadowrun in the past, and I really want to play a new redone version of it. So, but this one, I've clicked that on Kickstarter, so they'll email me when they're 2 days left to go, and I'll probably do a binge purchase, and I'll feel bad about myself after, but then I'll have a really lovely keyboard as well. Cool. All right. Well, let's get into games and reviews. Games and app reviews. Sorry, Anthony. Why don't you talk a little bit about Infinity Project 2 first, and then I'll do my review. I need to save my voice a little bit. I'm starting to get hoarse a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, it was like 2010, I believe. I stumbled across the Infinity Project, and at the time there really weren't many good first-person shooters that had good controls. And I picked it up, and I was pleasantly surprised how good it was. And shortly after that, a pretty big update to it, made it even better. So the developer was really working on it, and I decided to review it. For our show, you could go back. It must have been in the 40s or 50s. It was a long time ago.
Definitely.
And found out that it was a husband and wife team that designed and did the whole game themselves. So I was really, really impressed with that. I still can't believe that two people can put out a game like that. So I emailed him a bit. He gave me some free codes to give out, and I remember giving them out. And it's funny, I actually went on App Shopper to see how much it was now. The original Infinity Project is 99 cents. So if you want to check it out and support, a really nice guy, I haven't met him in person, but he seems like a nice guy. Buy the game for 99 cents. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. Where was I going with that? And on App Shopper, you know how you go on iTunes, it says install or installed, and you can't see how much it is. But they actually have my quote as in the review at an App Shopper. It's like, nice. The Touch of Gaming podcast says. I was like, wow.
That's
didn't even know I was quoted. But so then on the 100th episode, I mentioned that game, and I briefly, not knowing that there was a sequel. Or maybe I thought I heard about a sequel, but I didn't know. And shortly after that, like 2 weeks ago, I got an email from John Luke, who's the guy who wrote the game. His wife Jill helps him with all the graphics and design. And he's like, listen, I've been working on Infinity Project 2 for like 2 years. You were really interested in my other game. You want to beta test it? So I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like to be in on a game, from early on, its first playable version. So I was really excited. And so now I'm a beta tester for it. Some really cool things that I didn't know. He uses a service called Test Flight. And once you join Test Flight, you get emails with updates, new builds and stuff. So right from your iPad or your iPhone, you just, from the email, go to the link, you get brought to a Test Flight page, and the app installs, right on your device. So it's not like, I beta tested one game, I don't even remember what it was, but it was a while back. And you had to like copy these files into iTunes and, like drag them into your library. And it was kind of a clunky way to get, a game you did not purchase from the store onto your device. And I can't even believe Apple allows this Test Flight because, it's an easy way to just
it works really well, though. It works so well.
Yeah. And then you can use, communicate back with the developer. So I was really impressed with that. And the game is coming along really, really, really nicely. He's using oh God,
is it Unity? Unity?
Yes, he's using the new Unity 3D engine, and amazingly enough, it has a lot of things that are similar to the Unreal Engine, with like banners, waving in the wind and little dust things blowing around. And so I'm really impressed with the game engine. I'm really impressed that, two people have been working on this. It's the story is time travel based. Nice. So it takes place in the future, and then you travel back in time. You wind up back in 2012 in our time, because that's when things started to go bad.
Nice.
And for me, you throw time travel in, I'm instantly hooked on the story, and it's just been super, super fun to like email him and say, what if, and he's like, oh, great idea. And the next build has my idea in it.
That's cool.
And knowing that when this game's done, I had so much, I contributed so much to it. But so then I got the idea of giving him the logo to my company. My company's Axe Creative, so it's AXE. And he's like, yeah, sure, give me a logo. I'll throw it in the city.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so I gave him my logo. I'm waiting for the next build so I could walk around and find my company name. So,
that's awesome. If they're looking for any more beta testers, just send me an email. Let me know.
Oh, if you're interested, I'm sure he'd love your feedback, Lloyd.
Yeah, I really liked Infinity Project. Sorry, and I'm really looking forward to number 2.
I'll tell him, because you're way more of a professional gamer than I am. So
okay,
but I think so. Play a lot more than I do.
Sure, I guess so.
But it's coming along really nicely. The gameplay is much more action and the weapons, and it's way more polished, way more upscale. He actually quit his job in the beginning of the year and is doing this full time now.
Nice.
So I really want to I whatever we can do to get people excited and interested, and support the
Totally.
work. Yeah, this husband. I mean, because we just talked about how NG Moko made cool stuff, and then they bought Freeverse, who was also making cool stuff, and then they were bought out and destroyed.
Hmm.
So what little developers, you have to support them, and I think that's really where we're going to get like the cream of the crop stuff is from people like this who are passionate about it, devote their lives to it.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Game Loft and you have Electronic Arts, and they do some good stuff.
Hmm.
But I think the whole wonderful thing about iOS is that two people can make a great game, or one person can make a great game.
Exactly.
So I'll keep you guys updated, next time I'm on a show. But it's coming along. I don't want to give too much away the plot, but it's looking great, and I'm excited about it.
Cool. Well, thanks for that update or pre-date. I guess time travel. It's a time travel thing. So you're coming back from the future to talk about something.
I'm gonna email him right now. Tell him to contact you.
Cool. All right. Well, let's get into my review. If my voice holds out, and I do apologize, guys, for that. Hopefully, I don't cough too much. Just terrible here. But this is a game called Spellsword is what I'm going to be reviewing for you today. Really great game. It's by Everplay Interactive, and it's 99 cents on the App Store, and it is universal, so it'll work on both your iPhone and your iPad, iPod Touch, and all that fun stuff. And basically, what this game is it's an RPG, but it's an action RPG that is all set in one screen. So it's similar to Super Crate Box, if you remember that game, or Muffin Night that we talked about. And basically, the game revolves around you leveling up your sword powers. So you have a spell sword, and you have different spell powers. So there's, say, fire, there's earth, there's air, there's ice. There's a whole bunch of other ones as well. And how you get these different spell swords is you pick up these magical cards that are in the level. So when you pick up the fire card, it shoots off a bunch of flames, and then you have the fire attack on your sword. And that's kind of how the game works. Pretty simple. The thing that they do differently is there's missions in the game that you have to beat. So when you first start the game in the mission mode, and you go to the forest trap, which is the first world, there's 20 missions in that world. The first one, you have to collect 2 spell cards, and when you do it, you get a reward, and the reward is usually money, which they call rupees in the game. And when you get the money, then you basically beat the mission, and you get a mission clear, and then you can go on to the next one, and you basically work your way through the game that way. And it gets like really crazy, where you have to like kill 90 of these things that are really hard to kill, with these little eyeball things that are shooting you while you're trying to do it. So it's not all as easy as find 2 cards and move on. There's a lot of more difficult things in it. Other things that they do with it is you use your rupees to then upgrade your different card levels. So you can spend 100 rupees and you go from level 1 to level 2 of your fire card. But every time that you level up a card, other ones go up in price. They don't go up as high as if you went from level 1 to level 2 to level 3, but they're a little bit more expensive. So basically, the more that you level up, the more that you have to grind to get more money to then level up more. And it just becomes a really addictive thing of going, killing things, getting money, upgrading, killing things, getting money, upgrading. But it is really, really fun. So in this game, there are basically 3 worlds right now. There's Forest Trap, there's Mine Shaft, and there's Hotspot. And there's 20 missions in each of the world, and there's more worlds that are being planned down the road. And what they do is each of the worlds is different. So Forest Trap is very simple. There's a couple platforms. There's some hanging little like mace looking things from the middle of the screen. And then there's a little basically grassy areas on the side. So you can jump through everything and do it that way. When you get to the second world, which is Mine Shaft, there's now a pit that you can fall down, and there's these swinging bridges, which are a lot of fun. When you get to Hotspot, this is like a lava based world. So there's there's lava in the ground and a bunch of platforms. So, and the platforms are connected in the middle. So if you stand on one side, it starts tipping. So you have to basically be mindful of not falling in the lava, mindful of all the enemies that are trying to kill you, and then mindful of actually completing your mission so you can basically go to the end of the world. So super simple, but super addictive. It's fun, fast, and furious. And it's also pretty humorous too. Before each mission, he throws out a little quip. So he'll say something about like, all your base belong to us, or whatever the meme of the day is. It seems to be in here. There was a whole bunch of things about Hunger Games and stuff like that. So developers really kind of know what to do to make things that are kind of funny. As I said, the game is a grind fest, but I say that in the best possible way. So what they've added in is something called endless mode. So when you play the endless mode, you can play in any of the worlds, and they'll just keep throwing waves at you. Based on how well you do, you'll get different bonuses at the end of extra rupees, plus all the enemies will drop rupees. The harder the missions, or the harder, or the further on in the game that the wave is, they'll drop more bigger valued rupees that you can pick up. So it's easy. Like if I play Forest Trap on easy, I can get 2,000 rupees in a playthrough, and it's pretty easy to do. But then you use that to upgrade all your stuff, and next thing you know, you need 4,000 and 5,000 to do some of the stuff. So it's grind, but it is all sorts of fun. There's also an item system, since it is kind of an RPG. So you're not only using rupees to upgrade your different powers, you can use them to buy items like a party hat, which gives you your time skill of +1, or black feathers, which gives you a darkness card skill +3. So those are purchasable with rupees, or you can actually just play the game and they'll unlock a bunch of the items that way. So there's hats, there's amulets, and there's rings in the game. So you can basically add, wear one of each. That gives you more hearts so that you can take more damage. So if you're having a really hard time completing a level, you could have, say, 6 hearts across the top, so you can take a lot more damage. Of course, you can put it into getting more rupees, so you get higher valued money. So you get more money, you can upgrade faster. So there's a lot of different ways that you can attack this. There's full leaderboard support and achievements in the game as well. And for a game that is so grind fest worthy, I'm sure you're expecting me to say that you can just buy your rupees. You can spend 99 cents and get 20,000 rupees and upgrade to your heart's content. For some reason, this developer decided to not put that in, and I applaud them for it. It actually got a higher rating because they did that. They're not just giving the user an option to buy their way to beat the game. You're actually going to have to earn your way to beat the game. So you're going to have to play it, and earn your way. So awesome game. I love Spellsword. I actually just found out today, before doing the show, that they added iCade support. So I'm going to have to take out my iCade, which is right behind me over there, and I will be playing Spellsword tonight with my iCade. I wish I would have done that before the show. Unfortunately, I found out too late, so I couldn't test it out to tell you how well it works. But yeah, I can't wait to give it a go on the iCade as well. So yeah, Spellsword, it is awesome. Check it out. 99 cents in the App Store. It gets a 5 out of 5 by me. This is easily a must purchase for anybody that likes kind of quick action adventure, hack and slash kind of games. It's fun and it'll keep you jumping around. The controls are decent. They're not all the time on. Hopefully they can tighten that up a little bit, but they're not bad enough where it actually made me want to dock them any marks in my reviews. So yeah, definitely check it out. Spellsword, 5 out of 5, 99 cents in the App Store. Go download it. It's really, really good. And yeah, that's about it for the show. Unless you have anything else to add, Anthony. Any last words, since you haven't been on the show in a while? Do you want to drop any bombs or anything? Did you? Oh, your mic is muted. I can't hear you.
To make any noises while you were reviewing. Yeah, no last words.
No, you didn't start. You didn't start a third company or a fourth or fifth company.
No, just the 2 for
just
now.
Just the 2. Okay. Well, we'll let you have that.
And And no, that's it. It's late. It's late. I'm getting tired. It's 11
All
o'clock.
right. Well, I will allow you to go to bed, Anthony. You have my permission.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Thanks for staying tuned and subscribed. We love hearing from you guys. Head on over to vgpodcast.com. Click contact us at the top of the page. Send us an email. Email us directly, vgpodcast@gmail.com. Or you can call our voicemail line, which is area code 505-VG-Podcasts. Of course, there's our new forums. Get in there, get posting, get chatting, and strike up some conversations, because I will be awarding some iTunes gift cards at the end of the month to people that have done the most. I won't say posted the most, because people will come and post one word responses, but people that have contributed the most to the community over the next month. I'll be giving away a bunch of iTunes cards, so definitely check that out and get yourself some free iTunes swag over at vgpodcast.com/forums. All right, man. Anthony, thanks for joining me. This was awesome to talk to you again. We'll have to do this more often.
Definitely.
All right, man. Well, you have a great night.
Lloyd.
Yeah, no problem. You have a great night. Everybody stay subscribed, keep listening, and stay tuned for more from the VG Podcast Network. We'll talk to you guys soon. Later.
Take care, guys.